Okay, part two. The entire structure is covered with vinyl, so it's easy to wipe clean. So this thing was made out of foam, and then vinyl is a covering that you can use. Yeah, it cleans easily. How much vinyl would Kieran need to build this play structure? So if it's covering the outside, that's surface area. And so I'm going to start with just taking this piece at a time. I know I cut this up like this in the last problem. Do not find the surface area of this and add it to the surface area of that, and add it to the surface area of this, and add it to the surface area of that. Pause for a second and discuss why you should not do that. Okay, hopefully you all discussed how if you do that strategy, you're going to end up taking the area of faces that are inside the shape, and you don't want that. You only want the outside. So I'm going to start with this rectangle in blue. It's a rectangle again, so it's a 20 by 20 rectangle. Its area is 400 square inches. Next, this rectangle up here. Do that in red. Right, so now we cover the top. Some kid comes crawling up here, crawls up the blue part. Now he's on the red part. This is a 10 by 20, which is 200 square inches. Circle that. Circle that. Okay, and now there's this step. Oops, wrong color. Blue. There's this step, and use a dotted line to show what you can't see. Right, so if a student steps onto this step and then steps onto that step, right, so we need the area of this thing, which is 8 inches across by that distance, which again is 20. So 8 by 20 is 160. So that step right there is 160. But then, of course, as some of you have already figured out, there's this unseen side right there where, I don't know, if an ant crawls up here, they crawl up the ramp, they crawl across the top, and then the ant would have to crawl down this face before it could then go across that step right there, and then down that. So there's another hidden face on the back side here that we're going to have to get the area of that right down here somewhere. Draw that side in. Okay, but first right now we're just dealing with this side here, this hidden space. And again, I wish I had some kind of color to use. I guess I have a big thick blue marker I can use. Right, that right there. Okay, so that is a rectangle. So the area is length times width. This is the length, let's say. That distance is 5 inches as shown on our problem right here, right? That distance is 5, and from front to back is 20. So 5 times 20 is our area, which is 100. Okay, so that thing is 100 square inches. So here we are, up the ramp, across the top, down that 100, across that 160, but then we need to go down this again. I'm going to do that in red, that hidden face. That's length times width, which is 5 by 20 again, which is 100 square inches. Okay. Oh, and we almost forgot this little guy here on the front. Okay, that is also a rectangle, which is 2 by 20. The area there is 2 by 20 is 40 square inches. Okay, so we're getting there piece at a time. But what we haven't done this side, we haven't done the other side, right, the back, right, everything from there to there across the back, and we haven't done the bottom either. So here we go. Let's chop this up real quick. This rectangle here on the side is 5 by 8, which is 40 Okay, we'll chop again. That rectangle this is 5. This is also 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. So it's 10 by 10, which is 100 square inches. Again, you could treat this like a parallelogram. Not a parallelogram, a trapezoid. I'm not going to. Instead, I'm going to look at this thin rectangle, which is, I think we said that distance was 18 before by 2. So that little guy has an area of 36 square inches. And then the triangle, I'm going to put a little triangle symbol so I know I'm doing the area of the triangle is 1/2 18 times this distance right here, not all the way down, because again, you've chopped that off to get the thin rectangle. So we said this distance was 10, therefore this distance is also 10, which means if this little guy is 2, that's 8. Okay, from here to there is 8. So my triangle is 1/2 18 base times height, which is 8. Area of the triangle is 1/2 of 18 is 9 times 8 is 72 square inches. Okay, so that just gets you the front. 40 plus 100 is 140. 36 plus 72 is equal to 108. Combine those two together. 140 plus 108 is 248. But that's just the side that's facing us. We need to take another 248 for the back, or whatever you want to call the opposite of this side, right? It's back there on that side over there that we can't see. You add those together. 8 plus 1 is 9. 2 plus 2 is 4. So 496 square inches. But there are probably people out there who said we still haven't calculated the bottom of this thing, right? And so that shape right there, pause for a second and see if you can tell me, if you flip this thing and look underneath, what is the shape of the bottom of this funny looking ramp? Right, you talk with your partner. Right, it's going to be a rectangle. It is a rectangle. It is 36 inches long and 20 inches wide. So 36 times 20, automatic 0. 2 times 6 is 12. 6, 7. 720 plus the 496 from everything else. 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 7 is 12. I could be wrong, but I get 1,216 square inches for the total surface area of this shape.